Woohoo! We're live! Hi, you guys. It's 4 days till the launch of Tour de Dress, my cross country bike tour in support of Pangea World Foundation. And I am freaking out, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. And we're celebrating with daily song swaps with people that you should know about. And one of them is up in Connecticut. There's this man. He tells stories and then. All right, I should have thought this through before I started talking. But his name is Don White, and he is magical. Like, 1 second you're rolling on the ground laughing, and then suddenly he just kind of like brings out the dagger and stabs you in the heart in the middle of a song. And I got to open for him at the Vanilla Bean a few years ago, and he's just been so kind to me ever since. So I'm excited for you guys to hear him, and we're gonna swap some songs back and forth, and he'll tell you about some cool projects he has going on. And I would love, if you're watching, if you would say hi to me in the comments and tell me where you're watching from, and I will play you a song. And then we'll get Don to join us. We're gonna play this one. I hope when I'm old I play pranks on my children, curse like a sailor and walk marathons, drive a pink car or pay someone else. Shoot, my guitar's in drop D. Duh. Oh, okay, I'll play my song that's in drop D. Reroute. The Colorado cold made the sidewalk slick. I showed up to run in shoes that don't fit, and no gloves and a cotton shirt that absorbed all the rain. And all of the ladies went home, combed their closets for leftover racewear, jackets with pockets, and I was the best dressed jogger the following day. Here I stand in my secondhand shoes, in a thrift store dress, and a car I bought used, singing along to chords I stole from popular music. Came in this world unscarred and brand new. Now I'm a product of all of you. I'm a hand-me-down, hand-me-down, hand-me-down human. My family gave me the way that I speak, directly, just the facts. It's not about your feelings. Now I always shoot straight, and I'm strong in my roots. Like the tree that holds up the hammock where I lay was a gift from some kind soul in the olden days, where I kick my heels up and read my library books. Here I stand in my secondhand shoes, in a thrift store dress, and a car I bought used, singing along to chords I stole from popular music. Came in this world unscarred and brand new. Now I'm a product of all of you. I'm a hand-me-down, hand-me-down, hand-me-down human. Sorry, I should have practiced. Then there's all of these things I try hard to erase, like when Peter called me ugly in the 6th grade. Every angle I see now comes from ways of the past. The land where I live gave me freedom and a bunch of unfairness I've benefited from. Interesting how long disparaging words can last. I'm patchwork of mercy and hardship collisions. Wanna pass down the best of what I've been given. Oh, here I stand in my second-hand shoes, in a thrift store dress and a car I bought used, singing along to chords I stole from popular music. Came in this world unscarred and brand new. Now I'm a product of all of you. I'm a hand-me-down, hand-me-down, hand-me-down human. I'm a hand-me-down, 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 hand-me-down human. Whew. Thanks. Man, I like that song, especially when I can get through the licks, but it wasn't a get through the licks kind of day. Oh, hi, Paul. Hi, Al and Dave and Joseph and Steven and Ken. Oh, you guys. I'm so glad you tuned in. And you're going to be glad you did too, because now we get to bring my friend Don on the show.
Hey, hi there.
Hey, what's up?
Just living the life. It's not as exciting as yours, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. You were just in New Hampshire writing a book.
Right. Trying to get a book finished before by Christmas. For the Christmas season, and my house is busy here, so I rented a house in New Hampshire a couple of days a week, so I can just write with no distraction until my eyes burn, and then come back.
I can't wait to read it. The I want to know, like, so are all of these stories, oh, the audience doesn't know, so you hitchhiked for 3 years.
I did. I left home when I was 17 in 1974, and my girlfriend at the time, who's my wife now and has been since all those years, we got hopelessly addicted to hitchhiking. Hopelessly, just got addicted to the freedom of it, um, and the adventure of it, and so I never thought I would write about it, but I am now, and that's part of it. I have some other stories in there too, but that's what I'm working on now. The transition from being a kid, leaving a factory town to all the changes that come when your world gets, when you get exposed to people that are not like you, which seems like you're ready to have a whole mess of that in your life.
Yep, I can't wait. A lot of people aren't like me, but I love them all.
Right.
What, tell me like a lesson that you learned from the road. And if you can't
Um,
think of one, you can say the one you told me before we went live.
the way that in those days, we had no, we had to just count on the kindness of strangers, and it turned out to be quite reliable. Sometimes took a little longer to manifest than others, but that's something that I learned, that when things are difficult, um, back when things were difficult back then, we had no choice but to just wait and see what happened. We couldn't call anybody, didn't have any money, all that. Um, and so later, when we raising a family and all the things that come with that, when we were in difficult times, those lessons were still applicable. Let's not make this problem worse than it is. Let's sit back and see how it plays out. And now looking back on all of that, you can see that it works out. And that you avoid a little stress in the process.
Yeah, stress. Oh my gosh. I've been more stressed out in prepping for this than I feel like anything in my life. It's weird. It's new to me.
It's new to almost everybody. No, not too many people have done what you're doing, I don't think.
Right. Um, for those of you guys watching, Don told me 75% of the bad things that happen um, are in nighttime and with alcohol. So if you avoid those two things, you'll cut out the majority of the
Yeah,
the ruckus.
that's a good lesson to learn no matter what. Don't be the last guy at the bar. That's when the stupidest things happen. And sunlight, sunlight kills evil.
It does. And I'm gonna be getting up at crazy early to try to beat the heat as much as I can. So I won't even be able to stay up late probably. Like,
Good.
it's 9 o'clock. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, you might find 8 o'clock actually if you're bicycling all day.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I'll get a midday nap. Who knows? I don't know. But will you play us a song?
Sure. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. She keeps her ticket stub and a chunk of mud at her house in a little shrine. She was always the girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. If you ask her about it, man, you better sit down, Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talking about the Grateful Dead, Summer of Love or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in her glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And that night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. But when she wasn't dreaming, she always had the feeling that somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You should have been 20 in 1969. All the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. But the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who dance in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Bob around Doss never said be there then. It's gonna take a big leap of faith if you really want to find your tribe. Those were the first words Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. And there they all were, all the people like her, who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving down the road all the way to Minnesota, having all kinds of fun singing. Jimmy and Jerry are dead and buried and they're never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Bob around Doss never said be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. And since then she believed there was never going to be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take a big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Bob around Doss never said be there then.
love that one.
Thank you.
Such good storytelling. I even had a storytelling lesson from Don once. I'm still working on it. Dave says he likes your song about your dog, the Orchard Queen.
Yeah.
So, I'm just putting that out there. What has your COVID life looked like? What's a day in the life of Don?
Well, we were pretty isolated, like everybody, more so perhaps than other people, because we have a person in the family who's sick, who is autoimmune, and my son takes care of him. So we had to be extra careful not to bring it in because he wouldn't have made it. So we were pretty isolated, but I wound up doing quite a bit online, developing a way to use Zoom in an interactive way so you could hear people laughing and applauding. So I sort of reached out through technology on a pretty regular basis, and I actually moved my whole business online, which turned out, I could make a living anyway. So so it was just, just like everybody else's, I think.
Yeah, well, not really. I feel like artists had their own type of pandemic, but yeah, the isolation part. Every Thursday night, you're still doing shows?
Oh, sure. I'm not going to give it up until there's nobody coming to it. Yeah.
Yay!
Most of the people that come to them, especially since it's interactive and they can yell at me in between songs and all that stuff, pretty, it's a group that I probably would never get to where they live. They're from all over the world and the country. So I'm going to keep doing that. But as I'm booking fall as if nothing happened. Like, it's just as, just going to be back on the road again, which I'm not sure. It's more exciting for people your age than mine. The road is a fickle mistress, in my opinion. But
The road is a fickle mistress. I have yet to begin my love affair with her.
yeah,
I wasn't really touring much before the pandemic, so this is kind of and I'm clearly not doing it the normal way now. I'm like, I want to be extra exhausted.
I know you'll be nodding off in your second set in your shows.
Yeah. No, I'll just be hungry. That's what I imagine. I'll be hungry all the time. That's what it was like the first time. I did this. I've biked across the country before. It was 9 years. Yeah, it was 9 years ago, and it was with a whole team, and I didn't have to do any of the organization. So it feels different. When my body was younger and more chipper. But I can't wait. And speaking of that, I have a GoFundMe out for anyone who'd like to contribute to Pangea World Foundation. I'm writing in support of them and my debut album. And people are amazing. You are right about the kindness of the world, Don, because we're up to past $10,000 on that GoFundMe link. We're $30 short of 11,000. So maybe during this show, if anyone wants to get us past that landmark, that would be really special. It's been I got my bike. I haven't been fitted to it yet, but I can't wait to try riding and learn how to ride a bike.
Quite a procrastinator, aren't you? You're gonna wait to learn how to ride a bike before you leave across the country.
You're telling me. And I'm supposed to have my albums already, and I don't have them yet. And my tour starts in 3 days.
I know it'll work out. Don't worry about it.
It is gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Okay. All right, I'm going to play you a song, and then you'll play me one. That's how these things work. It's complicated, but we've managed to figure it out. Paul, I see your request, but I really want to play this one. Glasses and a ponytail, wore my sense of humor well, band kid. Had a face as its and a heart that wouldn't quit loving him. I'd forget my math book and he would bring his by. We'd talk for hours, laughing into the night, looking up at the sky, peppered with stars, while lying on the hood of my older brother's car. Tear down my cheek, glad he couldn't see the torture of wanting what I knew didn't want me. This story is completely made up. And I was his accomplice the day he asked her to prom. In English class he recited the sweetest poem that he'd written for her, and it ended with the ask. I had a bouquet behind my back to hand off when she said yes. Fast forward to makeup counter, spray tan, red satin prom dress, curled hair, necklace, my first set of contacts. Couldn't even get them out of my eyes, but they let me leave the office with a Cinderella promise that I'd have those lenses out by midnight. I lied before. The song is all true. I had my staircase moment like in She's All That, and his date's gown made her look really fat. I hoped my Romeo would see I'm his Juliet, but it's only in teen movies that it works like that. We had our chance to dance together, and when the music changed from fast to slow, I looked him in the eyes and told him telepathically everything I wanted him to know. Makeup counter, spray tan, red satin prom dress, curled hair, necklace, my first set of contacts. Couldn't even get them out of my eyes, but they let me leave the office with a Cinderella promise that I'd have those lenses out by midnight. So I had to change to glasses for the after party, and I laid down on the carpet so my date could help me. But how the hell do you let somebody else touch your eyes? I tried to do it myself, but I'd just recoil and cry, and after 20 minutes, he gave up. I thought I was a lost cause, and my eyes were all bloodshot. But then, who do you think swooped in? My unrequited Romeo, my Prince Charming. He stuck his thumb right into my eye, got those damn lenses out on his first try. There was no glass slipper, no firework kiss, but if that ain't a sign, then tell me what is. Makeup counter, spray tan, red satin prom dress, curled hair, necklace, damsel in distress. Something funny happened after that moment. He looked at me and I felt chosen. So here's my prom night advice. If you want love, let him put his fingers in your eyes.
The audience goes wild. The crowd goes wild.
You have to go wild. You're my only visible crowd today. Audible crowd.
Audible crowd. I love your writing. I really do. I'm kind of a snob about it too. I really like it. I just have from the very, it just keeps getting better and better, and it's very nuanced these days, I think, and it's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have this desire to move to Nashville after the bike tour, and my biggest fears about being in that songwriting community is that like they really appreciate a certain type of songwriting that I don't necessarily fit into, and in my growth as a writer, I don't want to lose my weird, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what I think about that. I had a student for from the time she was 12 till she was 18. She's quite accomplished. Her name's Haley Reardon. And I worked her through a few contracts and all that. And she went and lived down there. And that was her concern too. And she wound up, it wasn't for her, but she stayed long enough. And I think looking at her whole experience, what I would say is it's good to learn how to do that too. It doesn't mean you lose your weird. It just means that you can add something that makes money to it. Do you know what I mean? Like the skill set that, right? But yeah, it's not forever. It's not, it's just another thing to do. I mean, you're good enough that any style that somebody put before you, you could adapt to, I would think. And, just get out before all of a sudden you become like a hit machine.
Uh-oh, I'm writing too many hits. I better leave.
I have to leave here. Too much for me. Well,
Maybe by then the pop formula will have changed and it'll be like Taylor Swift wants to buy Cinderella prom night and sing it on her own.
you don't know. It's not etched in stone anymore. You know what I mean? There's all Laurie McKenna. She's somebody that I know.
Yeah.
Too, she will bend the rules quite a bit too. She'll write, in a certain style, but she'll come at a different angle, and it's pretty progressive. Some parts of country music, but if you go down there, good luck.
Thanks.
Sure.
Send your luck for making sure I make it across the country alive first, and then then in case luck is like a finite resource, I'm like, I want luck on the bike tour first, then we can talk Nashville.
I being lucky is the best of all the things. Like if before you're born, if they lay out a bunch of stuff for you to choose from, like beautiful, rich, whatever. If lucky's on there, pick lucky. It's better. It pays off more than all the rest of them.
I like that. And I feel like you can create your own luck. If you think you're lucky, you're more likely to be lucky.
Well, you can minimize bad luck. Decision making somehow has something to do with that. It seems like in my experience, poor decision making always sort of translated to bad luck, in my opinion, in my experience. So
that's true.
There's that.
It takes poor decision making to learn how to be a good decision maker.
Right. That's a good point.
All right. Play us a song, Don.
Okay. This song is called That's What Makes You Beautiful. It's a song that I wanted to write for a long time. It's about this idea that if you were raised by people who weren't well enough to raise you the way you should have been raised, like if they had mental health issues, or they were, they had for some reason they couldn't show you kindness or generosity, but somehow, despite that, you grew up to be kind and generous and everything that you wanted to be. I always felt like that was kind of an unappreciated miracle, because you had to find it on your own. You didn't have examples of it. So I wrote this song here. You were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, and trample those between you and what you believe you need. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty is always weak, but love and empathy are strong enough to break the chains of selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too ill to give their children what they really need. But it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night, or to have a life with just a little normalcy. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. When you feel hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are, and that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the stronger thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. A young man's eyes see beauty in what is on the surface, not within. He will walk past what is beautiful to be near the thing that shines. But these old men's eyes find beauty in the story, in the journey. They have seen too much to be fooled by what attracts a young man's eyes. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. There was nothing that this world could do to crush the love inside of you. Under neglect, abuse, and selfishness, you were caring, kind, and generous. It is the lonely road that brought you here. It's how all alone you persevere. It's the defiance and tenacity of your heart song of humanity. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me.
You know what that song made me think about? It made me just think about how I really hope that this adventure I'm about to go on makes me into a better human.
I'm sure it will. What makes a better human? Growth, right? That,
Yeah.
as long as you grow in a direction of kindness, I guess, as long as you grow, I suspect you'll be unrecognizable to the person who left, would be my guess on that.
I hope so. I'm due for some massive personal transformation. The self-help books aren't enough.
Self-help books are coming up short.
Yeah. Like,
You know what? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't know why just reading them doesn't suddenly make me a better human.
Everybody that you meet along the way, that's really it's not the gigs, I don't think. I mean, they'll be fun, but it's you'll be pulled into the lives of people that you have nothing in common with, who have a view of the world that's different than yours. And I suspect, if it's anything like my experience, that kindness will be the thread that runs all the way through it. There'll be a few jerks out there, but percentage-wise won't be any worse than where you live now, I'm sure.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And they all, you get such an accelerated growth out of that because, when you're in your regular life with your regular job, your exposure to people not like you is just limited, right? So that's not good or
Right.
bad. It just is.
Definitely in Boulder.
Just,
My Boulder bubble is pretty like-minded, so it's nice to get out of it.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
It is gonna be great. All right, I'm gonna play a quick, fun one that might make all of you think, yes, she has room to grow as a human. Okay. This is called The Female Advantage. I wrote it when I was like, man, there's all this talk about, like, wishing you were, like, men have it so much better. And I'm like, pretty, pretty satisfied with my gender, luckily, because there's plenty of people who weren't and have had to struggle with journeys of their own that seems far more difficult than what I've had to deal with. But this was to cheer the ladies up. My kind were always the good kids in school. We matured early and followed the rules. We got better grades and had better handwriting. We didn't solve our problems by punching and fighting. We get to live longer, we may not be stronger, but sometimes that detail really works out. I'm not disapproving when people are moving, that I don't get called to help carry their couch. People pay for my drinks, people give up their seat. I can talk to your kid without being a creep. There's times when being a woman ain't easy, believe me. But let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great. Oh, men try to find the perfect line. What should I say so she'll think I'm a catch? My profile says hi, my personality's fine, but if I swipe right, I'll probably get a match. When a zit's on our face, we can cover it up. When our tits in your face, we can butter you up. When shit hits the fan, we can blame the man. When our ship hits the berg, we get the lifeboat first. My feelings are something that I can express. I get way more choices with how I can dress. I hate earning less money, but if my marriage splits, I'll probably walk away with lots of his. People pay for my drinks, car insurance is cheaper. I can look at your kid without being a creeper. There's times when being a woman ain't easy, believe me. But let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great. Oh, I can get away with so many things if I just smile and show them some sweetness. And I've never had a problem at all choosing with my brain instead of my penis. I can multitask, don't have a hairy ass, and I can cry to get out of a ticket. I get into bars without a cover charge, and when I am bad, the cops don't think I did it. Now this ain't true for me, I say it with sarcasm. In the bedroom we have multiple organizational skills, a nice eye for detail. Yeah, houses look better when touched by a female. People pay for my drinks, people give up their seat. I can talk to your kid without being a creep. There's times when being a woman ain't easy, believe me. But let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great. Let's not forget there are times when it's great.
Bravo.
Thank you.
So we're wrapping up this thing pretty quick. Is that it?
We're wrapping it up. You're taking us home.
Okay. I want to say something before we go. I in my all my years in this business, I've seen a few people that come along who have the same sort of momentum as you. Everybody kind of knows that that you have a good chance to get what you want. Like that's something that I've seen before, but I've never seen anybody before who's good at the thing that I like the most, and that's being really funny, not like legitimately funny, and then can be extraordinarily poignant as well. Most people are good at one or the other, or but you're just they're to me they're right there like that, both of them, and that's I haven't seen it much in my career, and so I think you're great. I wish you well. I hope all your dreams come true, and I'm glad to be your pal and your friend, and I'll be in one place while you're moving around.
Thank you, Don. You have been nothing but just so kind and good and supportive to me. You have brought me to tears with some of the nice things that you've said, because there's so many times in this career and business where it's like, do I have what it takes? I don't know. I am one voice in a sea of millions. And having someone who's built such an impressive career and following who says, you can do it. I see it in you and I believe it, like, just means the world. So thank you.
Well, I'll just add to that it's not a gut feeling, it's math. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can see the math of it. The momentum that you have, the place that you occupy in the scene is when I've seen other people in that place before, they have all gone on to have careers that they can make a living with. So I mean, I'm not saying I believe in you. Go learn a bunch of, like your dad would. You know what I mean? Like I go right. I just see it. I really like what you do, but you've got a tailwind now, and you just keep getting better. So you're gonna have a career that you can make a living at. So I'm not sure what that means. Whether it's it'll be everything that you want or not, but it'll be fun, and I expect to see you at all the festivals and all that stuff. And it's a funny business. Everybody wants to be on a train that's moving, so you'll have a lot of people sort of wanting to get in your to help you out once they see that everybody else is trying to help you out. It's really funny how it works. So so I expect it's going to be a great year for you. Here's a tune to say goodbye with for everybody, and Shanna, the best of luck to you. I'm sure that you'll be letting us know how you're doing. So, and hi to all Shanna's friends out there and all that. So this is just a quick one. It's called "Go Light the World on Fire." Hard, dark, cold world with everybody in their cars in a million-mile traffic jam trying to get to their jobs. You there with bright light, hiding in your little room with your guitar and your pencil, writing your secret tune. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. In the first part, learn what you love to do. In the middle part, if you do it a lot, till it becomes a part of you. In the last part, you can give the world the best work of your life. And then you lay down with a big smile, tell this whole world good night. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. It's a hard, dark, cold world with everybody in their cars in a million-mile traffic jam trying to get to their jobs. We need you to come on down from your little room. Bring your bright light to the dark night. Place your secret tune. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. Go light, go light, go light the world on fire. This is your day, it's your time. Go light the world on fire. Go light the world on fire. Go on and light the world on fire.
I'm gonna go light the world on fire.
Right, we're speaking figuratively, not literally.
Yeah, I'm bad around ovens usually. Thank you so much, Don. You're awesome. I give you a big virtual hug.
I'll take it. And I'll take a real one once we get together again. So you're going to be here in New England in the fall probably, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll see you then.
Can't wait to see you. And to everyone watching, I'm going live with Claudia Gibson on her channel at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be back. All right.
Bye now.